Hi everybody, it's Mr. Bennett here. Today we're just going to be looking at the photocopy and how it works. Right, so the main theory is based around the following things: the corona discharge wire and the concept of using static electricity for good, not for evil. Alright, so that's the key idea. So what happens in the process? Well, a master copy is placed face down on the glass top of the photocopier. Alright. Then what you do is you put a light on the copy, shining it through onto the master copy. The light reflects from the white surface. Now on there you've got positive charge, okay, and as the drum rotates, the positive charge is left on the drum. So places that are not actually exposed to light will have the positive charge left there, and places that are actually exposed to light will leak the positive charge from the surface. It's called a photoconductive drum, and we'll talk about that in a second. The toner is then put onto where the positive charge is. The drum is then pulls paper through there and puts it onto the paper, and then the toner is basically fused. Alright, so that's what happens. Now, a good example of the Krona Effect is in fact the Northern Lights. I mean, lightning's another example, and you have plenty of really good examples out there where we have a charge of electrical current away from a point. Right, so what's the Krona Effect? Right, so the electric field around a point charge may be intense enough to ionise the molecules in the air around it. So we know that from our information that anything that has basically high curvature, right, will allow the charge to leak away from it. So example I'll show you with in the lab when we get the Van de Graaff generator out is that from a point charge we know that, or a lightning rod, we know that charge leaks away from that. So if you think about a plane has lightning rods on it, which allows the charge to leak away from the surface of the wings. So firstly, they attract the polar molecules in the air. Now, all air has polar molecules in it. There's a certain level of water vapor in the air. So when these molecules contact, the conducting surface charge will be transferred, and you get an ion being produced. And so therefore what happens is the ion then ionises other polar molecules, right, and then they move away because obviously they're both positively charged. So therefore you eventually get a stream of positive ions going away from the wire itself. So these ions then accelerate away from the surface of the electric field. They collide with other molecules in the air, transferring electrons between them. These molecules form ions, which then turn into accelerating and form other ions, and you get a net movement of charge away. Alright, the Krona Effect. So, parts of the photocopier, you've got the selenium photoconductive drum. Right? You have your Krona wire, you have your toner, and your fuser fixer. So step one, you scan the image to be copied. Alright, so that's what happens. Right, so first of all you put positive charge all over the photoconductive drum, and where the image basically is black, right, then the positive charge doesn't leak away, but everywhere else it does. Alright, so dark areas stay charged, all the other areas basically are not charged. And we know that photoconductive means that when you expose it to light, that the charge leaks away. The charged image of the original, right? So then what we do is we have slightly negatively charged toner, right? And that's attracted to the drum itself. Then what we have to do is introduce a paper that we want to put it on. So that paper has to be more highly positively charged than the drum itself, otherwise it's going to want to stay on the drum. So we charge that with a Krona wire, and basically it's got a higher positive charge than the drum. We put the paper ready to the near the toner. The toner here adheres to the paper, and then we fuse the toner. Alright, so essentially the concept there is using static electricity, like the concept of, unlike charges attracting to each other is a really important part of the photocopier. Now, keep in mind, back in the day when these were first invented, then we used to have typing pools in offices, right? So you'd have maybe 50, 60 people in there typing letters. Right? What it did there is get rid of those 50 people. You now have one person typing letters and you photocopy it. Right? So it was a huge difference to the way we work. Being sexist in terms of if you're a female at school, either you're academic or you're typing. Basically, that's what it was. So you're going to go work in an office and learn how to type. So, great invention, use it a lot. I mean, you guys use the effects of the photocopier a lot because a lot of things here at school are photocopy. Alright, if you've got any questions, please make sure you catch up with me regarding